Flexi Plateau ski bindings can be used with almost any shape and size boot. Follow these instructions if you need to reconfigure the strap system to suit your boot width. The webbing emerges from the inner slots for narrow footwear, the outer slots for regular footwear, and from the outside of the base plate for wide footwear. Place your boot on the base plate to determine your sizing. This right foot boot is a regular width and uses the outer slots. Be sure you have all the components separated. This includes 2 base plates, 2 heel retainer cords with heel tabs, 2 webbing straps, 2 release cords with attached tension lock buckles, 8 slip lock buckles, and 2 grab loops. If your heel retainer cord is not yet attached to the base plate, then do it now. First attach the heel tab and then weave both ends through the line of holes securing at the end with a knot. Okay, let's begin. Thread the webbing through both tension lock buckles. Be sure to feed through the slots in the second buckle in reverse order. Slide buckles along the webbing, leaving a tail of around 20 centimeters or 8 inches. Take the tail and thread it through the first of your slip lock buckles using this locking configuration. This locking configuration prevents the strap from creeping through the base plate. Now slide the buckles halfway along the webbing and reposition the locking buckle around 40 centimeters or 15 inches from the end. Okay, now remember we're working on the front inside edge of the base plate first. Place the same tail of webbing through the outer slot, ensuring the slip lock buckle faces convex outward. Pull the webbing through until the slip lock buckle is within 3 centimeters or an inch from the base plate. You'll pull this in tight later. Weave the webbing through the forward slots until it emerges from the opposite outer slot. Before you continue, pass both the tension lock buckles and tensioning loop through the grab loop. Go back to the same end of webbing and thread your second slip lock buckle onto the webbing in the normal fashion, convex outward. Continue up through the front tension lock buckle, threading it in the same normal fashion and back through the slip lock buckle. To lock the end, return through the slip lock buckle and pass it under and through the tension lock buckle. Starting from the outer edge, pull the webbing through the slots to bring the outer slip lock buckle down against the base plate. Pull the slack through the slots and then reposition the locking buckle on the other side so that it also sits against the base plate. Test your handiwork so far. Place your boot through the front strap and tension it. be sure you have a snug fit with both slip lock buckles against the base plate. Recheck that the tension lock buckle is positioned on the outside of the boot. Now remove your boot. Arrange your straps symmetrically like this. Now thread the rear tail of the webbing through your third slip lock buckle capturing the inner side of the heel retainer between the buckle and the webbing. Thread the end of the webbing through the rear outside slot and weave through the remaining slots to emerge from the outer slot on the opposite side. Now thread the webbing through your fourth slip lock buckle, this time capturing the other side of the heel retainer between the buckle and the webbing. Continue up through the rear tension lock buckle, threading it in the same way as the front, but don't lock it off yet. The tension lock buckle should sit just above the slip lock buckle. Pick up the grab loop and place your boot into the binding. Position the heel retainer and tighten the straps. Check that the slip lock buckles are as close to the base plate as possible. The back of the heel should sit flush with the back of the base plate. If your boot is too far forward, lengthen the heel retainer using a different hole. If your boot is too far back, shorten the retainer by feeding the knot back under one of the loops. Once done, the retainer should run relatively straight from the base plate up to the heel tab. Now remove your boot. Now that you're satisfied with the position of the buckles and the boot on the base plate, lock the last slip lock buckle as you did the front one. You've now completed your right binding. Now do the left binding using the right binding as a reference. Once you've done both, your Flexi Plateaus are now adjusted for a regular width boot. You can readjust for wider or narrower footwear, just use the appropriate slots and readjust the buckles, and refer to this instructional video if you get stuck.